What's up, party people? Welcome to another BOMA Thursday conversation. We have a myriad of BOMA Idaho board members with us today. As always, I'm Christian Heiner, co-founder of Stackrock Group Landscape Architecture here in Boise, joined by Jana, the association executive of BOMA Idaho. And Ted, let's start with you, man. Just introduce yourself, your company, what you do for BOMA, and we'll go from there.
Thanks, Christian. Yep, Ted Isbell here. I'm an architect with CSHQA, principal over here. And my involvement with BOMA this year is on the board, obviously, and then also on the programs committee. So happy to help kind of pass the mantle from Steve to someone else and ease that transition and learn a lot from him.
Awesome. I'm just going in order where you guys are on my screen. Tori, please, why don't you introduce yourself?
I'm Tori Cleary, Economic Development Administrator for the City of Meridian. And I joined BOMA, a little over a year ago, because after going to a couple monthly luncheons, it is the best informational and networking organization out there. And so I was pleased to be asked to be a member of the board, and I'm also on the programs committee.
Nice. Well, Tori, thank you for being here. We appreciate it. Kelly, how's everything in your world?
Hey everybody, it's great. I think you've all seen me on too many of these weekly vlogs, so you may already be familiar, but I'm Kelly. I'm the current president of BOMA Idaho. I work at Collier's. I'm a retail broker there, working with landlords and tenants on leasing and sales, and always a big proponent of BOMA, and happy that Steve and I can be passing on the mantle to such good new committee members.
How long did you guys do programs together?
Probably about 4 or 5 years.
Okay,
Sounds
yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, nice.
Yeah.
Well, Steve, why don't you introduce yourself and your right. All right, Steve, why don't you introduce yourself and then just go right in talking about maybe some of the history of programs at BOMA Idaho.
Hi, everybody. My name is Stephen Panzella. I'm a facility manager. I manage 3 GSA federally occupied office buildings. And I'm employed by a company from Newton, Massachusetts, named the RMR Group. And I've been a member of BOMA Idaho since '97. And I've been the programs director since 2008. And we've had some very informative and interesting programs through the years, which I really enjoyed, plus written car wash quizzes. And I really enjoyed, the camaraderie and the partnership with all the board members all through the years, and generating some good programs. And that's what we're going to continue to do. We've drafted some new members to this committee, and we're excited to go on, pass the baton to younger people.
Yeah, you were a committee of one for a long time.
Yeah, it was.
Poor Steve.
It's been fun. I was looking through my loose leaf binder of program preparation, and I kind of chuckled at a lot of the stuff. We had Idaho Public Television come as like a last-minute fill-in for someone who canceled, and they did an outstanding job. Everybody thought it was like the best program we ever had.
Nice.
So you get a lot of gratification and satisfaction from it. It's really makes the meetings what they are.
Absolutely. So yeah, so speaking of programs, what you mentioned some of the the fun ones. What are over the years? What have been some of your favorite programs that you put on?
Well, we've had election forums where the candidates. It's a live debate, sort of say. We had. Like Justin Craney or Jeff Wardle be the moderator. And so we had 2 mayoral election forums and 2 ACHD forums. And then we had city agencies from everywhere come in and speak with us. I think one of the most enjoyable one was we had a facility managers forum. It was called The Day in the Life of a Facility Manager. We had the facility manager and the chief engineer from 3 buildings downtown come and go through a typical day and how to mitigate emergency calls or floods in the building, things that just arise unexpectedly, and how you mitigate problems and deal with tenants. It was very enjoyable. We really got, the real word from the real guys with the boots in the trenches in the buildings. So, and we've also employed a lot of our own members to come and speak, like Max Clark. He's given us at least 3 presentations when he was with CCDC. And Jeff Wardle, of course, he's spoken on government affairs and also national issues with his national position. And Wes Jost, he's a real knowledgeable guy. He's an economist with Zions Bank, and he's a member, and he affords us all kinds of great information. So, you get a lot of information just from our own membership.
I agree. I remember as you're going through those programs, Steve, I start to remember back to those, like where we were. And I'm just thinking of today in the Idaho Business Review, there was an article on the powerhouse. Did you guys see that? And the new design of the powerhouse. There's an architect that went in there and put together a new design in there and talked about the use of the powerhouse. And I think back to when we were there.
Yeah.
I mean, that's been a lot of years ago, right? Where we had our monthly meetings there down at the powerhouse. And I know it was a long time ago because I always had a car seat over one arm. I was always taking one of my babies into those meetings. And so I know it's been a while because I know that I have one that is getting ready to graduate here. So it has just been a long time. I mean, I think, gosh, when I hear Steve say I've been doing this since 2008, I think, oh my word, how did I let this happen?
That was 2 babies ago.
Yes, at least. And you know what? You've done such an amazing job, though. It has just felt like presenting a good, solid topic for our members to come and participate in, and getting a huge turnout for a meeting is one of the most rewarding things.
It is. It's what makes the members want to attend the meetings,
Yep. And then there were some real floppers in there too.
Well, the building.
No. They've all been awesome.
We can't be perfect all the time as far as that goes. That was probably the month I was put in charge, but let me tell you, or last minute, like you said, Steve, we had Idaho Public Television come in at the last minute. Sometimes we couldn't, if something happened and we couldn't fill a spot. There have been some times where we thought, oh gosh, this is kind of a boring topic. Let's talk about, what was it, impact fees? This might be a boring topic, but we've got to do it because it was such a pivotal thing for our building owners to talk about, and developers especially. And there was a huge turnout for that, right? So just unexpected things. And then you'd go, oh, this one's going to be a great program. And there'd be like 20 people there. And you think, what happened to our 80 people?
Then you find out like some other event that was going on that day, and you're like, oh, dang it.
I know, some rooftop, you look across and there's some rooftop party going on at Washington Trust. And we were like, oh, man, we should be on the rooftop. Let's go.
Hey, what are we doing in here?
Yeah.
So Tori, I want to hear from you. I want to talk a little bit about Meridian, what's going on in Meridian. And, kind of before we started recording, we were, kind of spitballing some ideas for some Meridian stuff. Talk about that.
Oh, yeah, there's a lot going on in Meridian. All you have to do is, drive down I-84 and you can see everything that's going on, not only out at 10 Mile, but also at Eagle View Landing, there at the Eagle Interchange. And then what you can't see from I-84 is our downtown. We have an Old Town Lofts project coming up that will bring 103 residential units to our downtown and about 16,000 square feet of street level retail commercial space. So that should be ready late summer, early fall. And then also the Galena Opportunity Fund is now moving dirt out at the former Union Pacific site, just north of the tracks between Main and 3rd. So they anticipate approximately 330 residential units and about 20,000 square feet of commercial. And then Keller Associates, Keller Engineering, they are building their new corporate headquarters just south of the tracks. They're at Main and Bauer. So our downtown is truly becoming a 24/7 downtown with a lot more daytime employees and a lot of residents. So we're really excited. We have a civic block project that we're kind of evaluating right now. Probably we'll be issuing a new RFP for that later this year for a mixed use development. We're looking for, an iconic project in our downtown that will bring both visitors and residents to our downtown area. So we'll have a lot more to offer. We've got a couple new businesses coming in, even outside of these new projects. So we're really excited about that. So a lot of interest in our downtown. So for those who don't know it's there, when you're on I-84, you just get off on Meridian and head north. So.
Hey, Tori,
Awesome.
I have a question for you. So the residential projects that you're talking about, are these the first really significant residential projects in downtown Meridian?
They are, yep. So it's pretty exciting. And, we all know that there's a need out there for more housing. There's a huge demand right now for rental housing, and both of these projects will be rental properties. So yeah, we're really excited. Our goal here is to, try and interrupt the normal traffic flow. So to, also create more jobs, obviously, so Meridians don't necessarily have to leave Meridian to go to work. And then also to provide more residential opportunities for people who do work here.
Very cool. And so yeah,
that'll be fun.
absolutely. And so on the topic of programs, what are we, as BOMA Idaho, what are we going to be doing in Meridian this year?
I'm looking forward to doing a kind of man on the street little downtown tour later this year, which would be really exciting. I also would love to do kind of a broker lunch. That's not really a program for BOMA, but we would, certainly include any BOMA brokers who want to come and just kind of, introduce brokers to the area so that they can see, firsthand what the changes are downtown.
Nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I'm in.
Kelly will be there. Kelly already knows what's up in Meridian, though.
Kelly's at the top of my list.
But yeah, so programs. What, Steve? What do we have on the calendar date wise coming up?
We're only scheduled up to May. So we have the Twin Falls tour for April, and then the City Building Awards program in May. So we can move forward and schedule something for June. And usually we don't have a formal program for July and August.
And we do have, just to hop in March, next Thursday, the 18th, we've got our legislative update with Brian Kane from the Attorney General's office to talk about our crazy legislative session. It probably won't be over by then, but we'll get the update.
So Justin has helped us out with that.
Yeah.
Nice.
So that's the schedule. That's the March, this month.
Nice.
And I actually did send out a newsletter to everybody today, all the friends of BOMA, all the members and everybody, kind of laying out the schedule for almost the rest of the year, just so everybody knows we're starting to get back into scheduling regular third Thursday, BOMA Thursday type activities. And we've just had a lot of feedback of people wanting to gather outdoors just for now. And so we do have those programs, as Steve mentioned, up and through May. And then June, we want to have our cornhole tournament, probably in a downtown park area. And then in July, I just put on the schedule the summer social. So we'll kind of figure that out and develop that as we go. And then August, we typically take a building tour. Who knows if that'll be, most likely that'll be virtual. And we have some good leads on some great buildings that we can go take a look at. And then September, we are planning to have our in-person golf tournament. And we just have a lot of people already signed up because we rolled that forward from last fall. And then after that, we're hearing that our venue downtown Boise will probably open up and we can start having our regular monthly luncheons, or at least a smaller group of in-person and then a virtual option. And then we've put stuff together like a new member orientation in April, which is going to be, you know, one of our first in-person events of the year. We had the February event where people could come and get their symposium boxes and visit, but this is like, you know, there'll be a presentation, virtual option for people. And then I was talking to Christian. He's such a gifted photographer, you guys. If you've seen any of his pictures on social posts, we were tossing around the idea of getting really great headshots for everybody who wants one, charging a small fee for that, and then donating that money to a nonprofit, you know, a charity of some kind, like Interfaith Sanctuary or something, just doing something good on both sides of that, you know, providing a professional, fun, colorful, you know, well done headshot. Because as we're putting these together and we go to put headshots on some of these social posts, people don't have current ones. You know, we were all stuck in our house for a year. And so now maybe that's why. Maybe it's like Wes, who finally got a new one this year after like 10 years of using the same one. I was like, is this Wes?
I know, that was like a senior portrait from him, totally.
Wes, we love you.
So we're glad you have we're glad you have an updated headshot now.
Yeah, people have asked us though, oh my gosh, I don't have a current headshot. What do you want me to do? And so Christian's even said, hey, smile, like right in this phone conversation right now. Smile and take it.
Yeah, I'll just screenshot it, and that's better than nothing for sure.
So anyway, we're talking about doing that like in May, and just having, you know, just getting together often and having virtual options for everything, so that, you know, and you guys are doing such a great job of putting the monthly programs together. I'm excited about what's coming.
So when do you want to have like an outdoor social? In July?
Jana already picked a date, June 17th and July 15th.
It's the third Thursday, people. I'm just trying to get it back on people's calendars.
Early in the month.
Okay. So we don't have to schedule a program, because we're going to have it, you know,
Go play games.
I have something at a city park or something, right?
That's right.
Okay.
That's right.
Well, we're off the hook, fellow members.
So you have to track down all the cornhole sets.
Yeah.
That's going to be in July?
I think I put that down for June.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we can keep
July just for social.
we can keep our eye on the weather and make sure June's kind of an, you know, iffy month. If it's going to be crummy, then we can always change that to July. We're either, you know, in the rain in June or in the blazing hot sun in July.
Right.
So I guess we can take our pick.
Okay. I'll bring mine.
Sweet.
I've got one to contribute, BSU colors.
Nice.
Oh, awesome. See? It'll be easy to track them all down.
I've got one that's Dallas Cowboys. It was my husband is a huge fan. Don't judge me.
Nice. So Tori, it's 3:00. I know you've got to jump off. Do you have any parting words or anything you want to say before you go?
I don't think so. Just join BOMA. So I was new to the Treasure Valley area about a year and a half ago. And I'll tell a little story if I could. And I was introduced to BOMA and talked to Jana, actually had lunch with Jana and Christian downtown. And they hooked me in, although it didn't take much convincing. And so we said, oh, well, we'll throw together this event downtown to, you know, bring people to downtown. And it was in December and it was decorated. Literally a week's notice, and 23 people showed up. Third week in December. So BOMA brings it, I tell you, every time. So anyway, it's just such a great organization, and I'm so pleased to be involved. So.
Awesome. Tori, thank you so much.
Have a great rest of the day.
Hi, Tony.
Oh, great. Thank you.
Oh my God, you guys, I cannot wait for happy hour again. I can't even tell you.
It's a good memory, right, Christian? That was such a fun.
That was a super fun event, yeah. And like, yeah, like she said, like we threw that together in like a week, and I mean, we pretty much packed that little tiny bar, yeah.
Yeah, we did. That was really fun, guys. I can't wait to do that again. That'll be really brighter days ahead. That's all.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
Look forward to.
Okay, so legislative update. Is that going to be on Zoom, or how are we doing that?
Yeah, it's going to be on Zoom, and Brian's going to share his screen and go through some stuff with us. Sometimes we've done a recap in the past, right? We've tried to do kind of a legislative recap, and we wanted to do a live update in what seems to be like the middle of the session still, and just talk about some of the things that are affecting building owners, managers, commercial properties, that is in the works right at this moment, in case people want to get involved in those things. So it'll very much be in the works type of thing. It'll be that it's current and happening. So I think our members are going to be super interested. I just put that up yesterday and opened up registration today, and it's already got a lot of registration. So
nice. Yeah, I've seen a bunch of emails start coming through.
Yeah. So we're excited about that, and I think that your company's names come up so much when I'm out in the community talking to people. I mean, even just last week when we talked with Idaho Power. We had our weekly conversation like this. We were talking with Cherie over at Idaho Power, and we did a tour. Obviously, you guys saw this at Symposium, but we did a tour of the Humane Society. And so CSHQA, Danielle, was doing that interview there. So they came into it. And it seems like once I get a company like CSHQA on my brain, so I want to talk to Ted for a minute, it comes up like all the time. We were talking about nominations for the Building Excellence Awards. You guys have been constantly nominated and received awards for that, and that's coming up. So BOMA was asked to put out on our social media for people to nominate others for that, and we were able to bring in a lot of nominations for that, and so we're excited about that. And I don't know if you guys are on the list again, if you've submitted a project, but it just seems like you guys are everywhere.
Well, we try to be, right? Market penetration and brand awareness are very important concepts for us, and we've put an emphasis on that in the last 3 to 5 years. The market here is more competitive architecturally and engineering wise. It's now easier to work anywhere, including Boise when you're from out of state. We do the same thing in other communities. We're licensed in all 50 states, and we work out of 3 regional offices, so it's not unfamiliar to us. I think we found that we were maybe not as competitive here locally, so we've kind of refocused our efforts to try to recapture some of our market share. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that. Yeah.
What are you guys working on right now? What are some of the projects you guys are working on?
Sure. So locally, we're working on, it was Linder Village. It's been rebranded as Orchard Park. Is that right? Out at, what is that, Linder and Chinden? Yep. Big, multi-tenant retail development, including a new library branch for the city of Meridian. That's kind of one of the developer incentives there. We're underway with design on 2 of the parking garages out at the Boise airport. So in terms of economic growth and stimulus and what all of this growth means to the valley, that's one of the trickle downs of that is more parking capacity at the airport, both for employees and the public. And then they've also just recently let the contract or announced the contract for the consolidated rental car facility out there. Another firm got that, but that was another big project. We continue to support retail clients, nationally. Trying to think. I kind of do a little.
Doing the food hall at Bodo.
We are, yeah. You're familiar with that, right? Next door, causing all that noise. Yeah. So the remaking of that portion along 8th Street and a little bit of exterior upgrades, right? They're going to kind of recraft some of the exterior there. That's an exciting project, right? With the food hall, and get some of the food trucks, brick and mortar presence, a way to kind of bootstrap themselves up into a bigger presence, and prove what you can do here, right? Here's a real opportunity. The other one that's kind of somewhat related to that is Crave Delivery. So they're a hosted kitchen service and delivery service for restaurants from all over the country that come in. The one in Meridian is I believe one of the first ones that has been rolled out, but we're now kind of following them around their new market territory and trying to replicate the success that they've had here in the Treasure Valley.
I see those trucks everywhere. Tell me about that business model, if you guys.
Yeah. So there's an app, right? I think it's a Crave Delivery app or something like that. And it's just, like a communal or hosted kitchen space where a number of different restaurants and chefs from like Los Angeles and New York and elsewhere can bring, a pared down or selected menu from their restaurants and prepare it here locally, and then deliver it to you. So there's no dining room area or any of that kind of overhead and facility cost, right? It's a streamlined kitchen and delivery service. I think is it the Metropolitan Grill out of Seattle? I think they're doing that there. Right.
Yeah. And so they did testing on their steaks to figure out how to cook them and how long to cook them, so that when they get delivered to your door, they're perfect.
Right, because it continues to cook while it's being delivered, right?
And a special container that vents and everything else.
Yeah.
But you can order from the app from any of the restaurants, so if one person in the family wants, tacos and you want sushi, you can get it all, and it all gets delivered together.
Right.
Awesome. I see their trucks everywhere. I mean, if you've been out to 10 Mile and you've been in that area, they're everywhere. Those cars are everywhere. And I'd heard about it, but I just didn't know exactly what the business model was. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, did the app.
Well, those are exciting projects, Ted.
Yeah, thanks.
Keeping you busy, I'm sure. Sounds like a lot of BOMA programs that we could be.
Right.
That's really where the programs come from, right? We start talking to our members and what projects are you working on, and I didn't know they were building so many things out of the Boise Airport right now. I mean, it makes sense, and some of the announcements that have been made, that direct flight to New York City. I was like, really? Wow. Okay. So how does that work? And just, hearing more and more about that. But, then you think, well, do we think our members want to hear about that? Or do we want to piggyback that with another topic from our city and just say, okay, we're going to do an airport and this type of an update, and just have speakers come in from those different, have you guys come in and talk about the design of what you're built, what you're trying to put together, and then have, somebody from the airport come in and talk about traffic and what they see is trending in our area. Because in other areas, the airport seems so far away from, it takes you a long time to get there when you're in other areas. You have to allow yourself an hour and a half to get to the airport or whatever. And here it's like 15 minutes. Where do you live? Meridian, 15 minutes to the airport. And it just seems like the busier and busier it gets, you have to wonder what impact that's going to have on people who live within 15 minutes of the airport, and how that's going to affect future construction. So, I mean, there's all sorts of things we can pull just from that one project, right, to talk to our members about. And that's really what the programs committee, what Steve has been doing for years, is kind of polling the board, right, getting a bunch of different conversations going and pulling ideas out of that, and then creating programs from that. And it's interesting to me to listen to and to hear everyone talking about what they're doing, and then what might appeal to our members, what might draw the crowds, right?
Well, one thing I can add is that when you ask or invite someone to be come and be a guest speaker, there's an awful lot of willingness. They're very anxious and willing. Oh, sure, I'd love to. So, you know, there's a lot of subject matter out there, and it's very achievable.
For sure. For sure. And then not only that, but Kelly, you're going to be speaking at a different organization next week. So I think that's kind of interesting. As somebody came to us and said, "Hey, you guys are the experts in, office. Can you come speak to us?" And Kelly, talk about that.
So we'll be at the Downtown Boise Association's, via Zoom at their virtual board meeting. And I'm bringing Oliver Marin, one of our office leasing brokers, to be the actual office expert for me. But yeah, like Jen said, they see BOMA as a source of information, in so many things. And so we're going to go talk with them about what we're seeing downtown, both, retail and office, and what we're hearing from our BOMA members, who's already back at the office, who's not back but is already planning to, kind of what are people doing, who's never going back to the office, which I haven't heard too many of here in Boise, but you see that headline around the country right now, and so people want to know, what's going to happen.
Yeah, for sure. And that is a hot topic right now. Is when is everybody going to be back downtown? I was down there yesterday, and I was like, man, I want to turn left on 9th. Okay, there's no people, there's no cars, so I can just go left on 9th. Which, it just didn't used to happen that way, and I am looking forward to having it be more bustling. It is, and as I was talking to Jen, the executive director of the Downtown Boise Association, I said, I don't think that, or at least from our members, they're not saying, okay, on this date, if this happens with the state on this date, we're going to be back down to, to our offices. I think that it's going to be gradual, and we'll look back. I mean, even now, you look back and you go, oh, well, there's a lot more life downtown than there was a year ago, obviously. Everybody was home a year ago. And so I think we're going to look back in the next several months and not really have a specific date when everybody was kind of back, but that they'll trickle in over time, and we'll think, oh gosh, our downtown is really back and busy, and activities are happening again, and we're excited to kind of, so the conversation with her was really positive, and things we're hearing from our membership and wanting to be back downtown.
Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing, when I go down to the office now, there are definitely more people in my garage at 9th and Front than there were. And I think, when we have people here from other cities, they're like, oh my gosh, downtown is so busy. It's like, well, sure. Maybe not like what it should be.
Yeah.
Maybe, compared to other bigger cities.
Yeah. But you can right now. You can pull up and you can find a parking spot and no problem. And
not Saturday night. I was downtown 2 Saturday nights ago, and it was popping.
Yeah.
That's great.
Let me know next time you go.
Okay. Well, I was picking up my food and not staying downtown.
But you're frequent, you're patroning those. What do you say?
Yes.
You're visiting. I don't even know how to say that word. Patronize. I don't want to say patronizing.
I know that sounds wrong.
But you are.
Stop patronizing the bars.
Spend money.
Well, it's exciting to see a lot of those things starting to happen down there, and for people to, say, hey, I have an appointment downtown, I got to go, or whatever. I just think, oh, yay, go, please, go have an appointment. Those things are really exciting, and that really is what we're hearing from our members right now. I'm amazed. I want to bring up a quick topic that we discussed last week at our board meeting, and that was just the fact, I want to get your perspective on the conversation we had as a board, and on people saying, well, so when are we going to start meeting in person? What are we waiting for? We've got opportunities, we've got the means to be able to do that and have a virtual component to it. What do you guys think about that conversation?
I have mixed opinions on it. I mean, obviously I want to do that, but it's still, for me, it feels a little early for me, I'm not trying to go like have lunch inside with anybody yet. I'd go sit on a patio somewhere if I could, maintain some distance, or, I have clients and, and friends that we've been, literally like tailgating. Instead of like going to happy hour, we meet at the convenience store by my house and like sit on the tailgate and like have beers in the parking lot. Like I'm all about doing that, but yeah, I'm not trying to go sit inside and have lunch or anything with anybody yet.
Right.
Yeah, well, that's why I was like, we can go inside, but we're all going to wear masks, and everybody has to take their lunch to go and eat it by themselves later.
Exactly. Yeah.
That's my level of comfort.
And I think that's such a good point. Everybody has their own level of comfort with this, right? And so that's why we have to offer those options of, hey, for those who are itching to get together in a safe way and to be able to have those types of interactions, and then offer that virtual option for people to be able to call in. And that's what I really tried to communicate in the newsletter that went out today, just to say, hey, we're having a new member orientation, but it's for everybody who wants to listen to, a panel of people speak about the value of your BOMA membership. I think that's such a valuable thing to take part in, even if you've been a member for a long time.
Sure.
Or the chair of this programs committee since 2008, right, Steve?
Right. Bring them in.
I'm just excited about it. I'm excited to be able to offer that to people, an opportunity for them to get together safely and to visit with their fellow BOMA members. That's what it's all about, the networking and the relationship building, and then having people, anybody in our membership being able to log in virtually to that and take advantage of it.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm super ready to go, be with everybody again. But really for me, it's until my parents are all the way vaccinated. I feel like I can't, but it'll happen soon, I'm sure.
Well, and I understand we have more vaccines available because they've just cleared, anybody 45 and over. My parents are fully vaccinated now, so I can't tell you what piece that,
Totally.
just a little bit of relief.
Yeah, like counting down my family members of who's vaccinated.
I think that's going to come quickly. Good, Steve, I'm glad.
Yeah, I got my first one last Saturday.
Nice.
Good.
Yeah.
You're already partly covered.
The next one is 27, so it's 2 weeks.
Nice.
Good.
Good. See, I think that this is the progress. We're seeing progress, and particularly BOMA has been putting forth a huge effort to get property managers and the essential personnel within those buildings vaccinated so that we can really feel a little bit more confident about opening our buildings. And when we approached one of our members about having our new member orientation at their building, they were actually very open to doing that. They have a space where it can be socially distanced. We can limit the number of people who can attend in person, and we can have it in a safe way. So we're excited about that. So I'm glad to hear that.
Nice. And remind me when that is?
April 22nd.
April 22nd. Nice.
And we'll probably have it, I think we were talking about 11:30. And that way we can have it from 11:30 to 12:30, and then people can take their box lunch and go.
Before they get angry.
Yep. Don't want hungry people.
No.
So where's the venue?
Well, I can't announce that officially yet. They've said, yes, they're open to it, but we don't have the official word on that, but it'll be in Meridian. I'll tell you that. It'll be in Meridian.
Oh, Tori will love it. Okay.
So, I think that it'll be good.
Meridian's good for me because I'm right on the edge here.
Yep.
Yeah.
On the edge. Steve, you're on the edge.
I'm on the edge. Southwest Boise is the edge.
It is. I'm on the edge. Steve and I are neighbors. In fact, I told him the other day, hey, I'm picking up my groceries at Walmart right by your office. Why don't you come over and say hi? So he came over and said hi in the parking lot.
Nice.
It was great.
And Steve and I are neighbors too. He lives just right like 2 blocks that way from me.
Yep.
You know what? I have to say, I just am, as all of us probably are, just really craving that interaction. I was driving down Broadway yesterday or day before yesterday, and I passed the Coble Company. So you guys know we've dealt with the Coble Company for a long time. They do our little name badges that we order, and we ordered our BOMA masks from them, you know, for our symposium event. They're a local company, long time. We've had a relationship with them for a long time. I can't remember the last time I went to their office. So I pulled over and went in and met with Angie, and they've totally redone the inside of their offices. And she was so happy to have, she gave me a little Coble Company cutting board. It was so cute. And just some of the, you know, the interesting products that they can, you know, put your logos on and promotional items. Anyway, it was just so nice to see her, and so nice to just visit with one of our longtime vendors that we use.
Mm-hmm.
So we appreciate, I appreciate being able to do that and go and see people. So I'm really craving that.
Me too. Ted, I got a question for Ted. Ted, is your office a converted warehouse?
It is. It was built in '58, and it was the train tracks used to run right here behind me on Front Street, right? That was, the train tracks ran literally right off the face of the building here. So it was a steel warehouse, right? That would offload raw product and into the warehouse off of the rail cars into the space where I am right now, and then break it down and process it, or store it, and then trucks would pull up on Broad Street, which used to be called Broadway, the old Broadway, and then off take it away out through those big doors that are out there on Broad Street. So yeah,
I was
It's a cool building.
It is.
Yeah, thanks.
I visited it in 16 when Danielle was doing our ADA.
Yeah.
It really is nice, but it's some conversion and transformation.
Thank you. Yeah.
Well, and even since that original, or not original remodel, but the one that you did, Ted, you guys have added a bunch of stuff and kind of remodeled it since that, right?
Yeah, right. When we took it over, right, it was still pretty raw and pretty warehousey, right? It's had the raw concrete floor, and the insulation was here in the joist cavities in the ceiling, not the background behind me, but the one I'm looking at up here over my screen.
The real background.
Yeah, right. So, the great part about it is that everybody says that good bones, right? That's the terminology. But the benefit is that it hadn't really been corrupted by kind of substandard tenant improvements, right? Nobody had dropped in a bunch of suspended grid ceilings or really kind of corrupted anything. So it was pretty easy to clean up. And as long as you're not the guy that was here pulling all the staples out of the ceiling joists that held the insulation in. That was like a 3-week job, but yeah.
A lot of staples.
Yeah, no doubt.
A lot of staples. You got your sore shoulders.
Looking up.
Yeah.
Totally. Okay. Well, I think we're out of time, you guys. Any parting thoughts? Anything anybody wants to leave on?
Register for next week's program.
Yep.
And as Tori said, join BOMA.
Yeah, that too.
Perfect. Okay. Well, Ted, Kelly,
Thanks.
Steve, thank you so much, and we'll talk to you guys all soon. Thanks.
Thanks, guys.
Bye.
Go BOMA.
Thank you.